Welcome back to another edition of Campus Digs. I'm Victoria Dennis here on Grit at Manhattan Beach Studio Lot. You may notice my counterpart, Meg Burgdorf. She's out of the building at the moment, doing what she does best, coaching them up down on the sand. She'll join me here next time, but let's dive into the AVCA Top 5 rankings for this week. Going undefeated on the weekend and earning that number 1 spot here, coming up from number 2, are the UCLA Bruins. Currently 19-4 on the season. A duo that helped them earn that, well, none other than Alden and Miskowski, earning AVCA and CBVB Collegiate Pair of the Week. It's the first honor for the duo, who are now 20-1 on the season for the Bruins. They have won 18 matches, all against ranked teams, on court 5 for the Bruins, 6 coming against top 5 teams. Pretty awesome. Next up for the Bruins, they'll head up to Seattle to play at University of Washington for the Pac-12 North Invitational. Now coming into number 2 are the Stanford Cardinal, up from number 3 last week. The Cardinal extend their 10-match win streak with 2 top 5 wins over number 4 TCU and number 5 Florida State last Saturday. Again, those rankings are from the previous week. Upping its total to 11 top 20 wins on the 2024 season. Their win versus TCU, a victory on court 5, came from freshman Stowell and senior Riley. Freshman Hoffman and Kelly Bellardi secured the top 5 win for the Cardinal with a 21-14, 21-15 decision on court number 3. Next up for Stanford, they'll head up north as well to the Pac-12 North Invitational in Seattle, Washington versus USC, Washington, Utah, and Arizona. Now number 3, the USC Trojans falling. Previously number 1, now at the number 3 spot, 21-3 on the season. Last weekend, they had a 3-1 overall go at it down at the Death Valley Invitational. They swept TCU and Florida Atlantic, but lost to LSU. We'll touch on that in a moment. On the top court, All-American seniors Kraft and Maple won their 18th straight match, a streak that ranks 9th amongst pairs all times in program history. Graduates Kurtz and Seitz took 2 losses at the 2 spot, which ended, unfortunately, a 14-match win streak for that duo. The Trojans are up next, again, heading up to Seattle for the Pac-12 North Invitational. They'll see Arizona State, Stanford, and Cal. Now coming in at number 4, previously number 5, is FSU. 20-5 on the season. Last weekend at the Death Valley Invitational, they fell to Stanford 2-3, a very close duel for them. They also lost against UCLA and USC, but they ended the weekend with a victory over then number 7 ranked Cal. They will, during the battle versus USC, the Seminoles on court 3, Audrey Koenig and Rylan White dropped a 21-17, 17-21, 25-23 decision versus the Battle of USC. So it was a very close one for the Seminoles and the Trojans, but Trojans coming up on top of that victory. Next up for the Seminoles, they will host the Unconquered Individual Invitational on April 5th and 6th versus UNF FIU North Alabama on day 2. They'll play UAB and Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Coming in at number 5 is TCU. Previously ranked number 4, they dropped this week. Now 19-5 on the season. They split on the final day of the Death Valley Invitational. TCU fell to Stanford, ended the tournament though with a win over number 6 California. A couple athletes that stood out for TCU were Kleins and Pollock, who competed in an epic battle versus Cal and took it in 3 for that duo on court number 5. It's the duo's first win together and first ranked win this season. Next up for TCU is their own invitational happening this weekend. Well, they'll see HC Hawaii Friday and Saturday. and Senior Day versus Texas on Saturday as well. Now, one standout team that we have to touch on is the LSU Tigers taking down then the #1 USC Trojans. And they were able to do it in their own neck of the woods, per se, down in Death Valley, hosting that Death Valley Invitational. So what a standout weekend for the LSU Tigers. It was their only victory on the weekend there at home, but you know what? They'll take it. As quote from Coach Russell, "It would have been nice to have gotten a couple more wins, but we ended the weekend playing as well as we would have played in the last few weeks. I'm really excited about where we are heading and looking forward to getting back to work on Monday." Next up for the Tigers, they're back on the road for the Georgia State Diggin' Duels in Atlanta, Georgia. That's it for our weekly digs here at Grit. Make sure to tune in next time as we continue to follow NCAA beach volleyball. Until then, I'm Victoria Dennis. Stay gritty out there.